Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through Sunday. Let's jump into our study group for warriors, for my hardcore heads. If anybody out there wants coaching or mentoring, go to my website, skyazrael.com. Let's just jump into it. I got some peppermint tea brewing. I got some patchouli incense burning. You know, it's weird. I like patchouli incense. I can't stand patchouli oil. The patchouli oil that the hippies wear, can't stand it. Smells like rat poison or something, bug spray. The patchouli incense, to me, to my nose, completely different. I actually dig it. Let's just jump into this. I'll go through my notes. That's all the study group is for the new subscribers. Here's the first one. The purposeless rat is prone to addiction. This is well studied, and I'm not going to get into the whole study with rats and cocaine. Other people talk about it on YouTube, but bottom line is, give yourself some meaning and purpose every single day. Give yourself some productivity every single day, and you'll find yourself having less time for your addiction and less interest for your addiction. And one of the things that I noticed for myself when I was trying to conquer addiction is that I had a lot of time on my hands that needed to be filled. And the more I could stay productive, even if it was just being a busybody, doing rather nonsensical tasks, it was better than just sitting around. Because when I sat around, I wanted to get fucked up. Let's talk a little bit about temptation. Seems fitting. Let's go to the next one. There's 3 temptations of evil. Temptations of the mind, temptations of the body, and temptations of the soul. So, the temptation of the mind is lust, and of course you can break this down into a whole lot. But the temptation of the mind is lust. That's something that we all battle, some more than others. So, in order to conquer lust, you fast. So just taking lust at its literal meaning, because you could break lust down into a whole world, but say if you're lusting after women, fast from women. In order to conquer your weakness, don't let women rule you. Don't let pussy have power over you. That's a weak man, a weak, disgusting man. Temptations of evil. You have temptations of the body. The temptation of the body is pride. Now, each one of these, lust, pride, and the final one, greed, can all be broken down into a lot. We could talk about each one of these for a half hour. I'm just going through this stuff quick. The temptation of the body is pride. You conquer your pride, feeling prideful. You get rid of all that pride, that evil pride, through prayer. Humble yourself. Pray to a higher power. Someone more powerful and larger than you. Temptations of evil, you have temptations of the soul, and that's greed. The way that you fight greed is through charity, giving, helping. Let's talk about Lucifer, my buddy. I've been friends with the devil for thousands of years. He's not that bad of a guy, but you can't let him alone with your kids or trust him or anything like that. Lucifer got kicked out of heaven because of his ego and his pride and his self-deceit. The power that the devil says that he has is a self-deceiving tale that he tells, and some of you may be fooled by it. He says he's the God of this world, and the devil seems so powerful. That's a lie. I've seen guys on the block running their mouths the same way. It's bullshit. It's a lie, he tells. See guys in the prison cell running that same fucking story. It's a lie. The devil didn't want to serve mankind. He wanted to serve himself. He made himself the center. God wasn't the center, he was the center. That filled him with ego, pride, and self-deceit. Moving to the next one. Some people think that if they get strong enough or get to a point in their maybe they'll get to a point in their life when they will no longer have to suffer through temptation. Maybe they can find a perfect utopia, the perfect relationship, the perfect job, the perfect town. Everything can be perfect and there'll be no temptation. Your temptation is your weakness, and that's why it's worth controlling it. Now, you will always be tempted. There will never be a place or a time in your life when you won't be tempted. Everyone gets tempted. Even Jesus was tempted by the devil. Everyone gets tempted. It's just that some people are strong enough to resist that temptation. Everyone has a choice. You got the same 8 hours that I do, the same 24 hours that I do, the same 1 hour as I do. You can choose to spend that time however you want. Maybe I'll do this in a separate video or go to the next one. I was going to talk about cults, but I'll talk about cults in another one because that's kind of a big topic, and to just breeze over it doesn't really mean much. You have to dive into it. But I wanted to talk about this model of control. There's a way that cults control people, and I'll reveal that to you. Let's talk about ideals. I was listening to a talk earlier in the week by a very liberal guy talking to a fairly conservative guy, and neither of them were famous, but it was a podcast, and the very liberal guy pushed back on the idea, the notion of ideal, and pushed the term ideal to be unattainable. So I had always thought, just in my mind, that an ideal was, say for example, a really high goal. You have like a hierarchy of goals. Not all goals are the same. I may have a goal of washing the dishes, but I also may have a goal of making $1 million. Both goals, very different. I believe under that definition that an ideal can be reached. You can become a millionaire. You can live in an ideal part of the world. Watch these travel videos, which I watch, and some of these, the scenery and the landscape is very ideal. It's amazing, stunning. You can live there. People do. You could have a big mansion and a yacht. What's your ideal life with a hot, beautiful model? You want that? And some people don't want that. But if you want that, you can have that. Not everybody gets that, but that's possible. Now, I guess if you want to take the term ideal and have it only be connected to God, God's the only ideal, then maybe it is unattainable, because nobody can become God. What's your guys' opinion on ideals? Can you reach an ideal? Do you have any ideal lifestyles, ideal relationships, ideal living situations? What are your ideals, and is it impossible? You'll never have that. Let's talk about being misaligned. Some people feel misaligned. There's a season of alignment that needs to happen. I'm going through an alignment. Everything feels like it's coming together for me, but I know what it's like to feel misaligned for a long time, where my life just doesn't feel like it's working out right. Everything just kind of feels off. Maybe it's stagnation. Maybe it's your life is mundane and boring. Maybe it's just too crazy and going in the wrong direction. But misalignment is common, especially in these two areas of love and success, love and money. If you're lost in life, if you're lost, what you need to do is stop and pray for guidance, but you may not hear the answers because your mind is too loud. You got too much going on inside your head. So, as a practice, simultaneously, as you're praying for guidance when you're lost, please, Lord, show me the way, you need to be quieting your mind. Meditation is great for this. get rid of all that chatter in your head, all those various voices. 99% of the crap that you think is just worthless crap, pointless. Get rid of it all, release it all. I tell myself a mantra of, I release all thoughts to the universe with loving kindness as they arise. And as I tell myself that, I imagine thoughts coming out of my head like a cartoon, like little bubbles, and then bursting in the air, just going off into the universe. That kind of visualization tied in with the actual repetitive mantra during a meditative session helps me to shut out and release, to purify, to get rid of all that chatter so I can hear the true voice, whether that be the voice of God or just your inner guide, that true self. You need to get rid of all the narratives and stuff from others, from your parents, from the news, from whoever, your boss, from your girl. Get rid of all that shit that's in your head. All the nonsense, all the self-destructive evil, all the weakness, all the victimization, the shame, the guilt, the negativity. Get rid of all of it. And then maybe you can hear that guidance. And while you're doing this, while you're practicing your meditation, so you can hear this guidance, you want to add throughout your daily schedule. I mean, you're lost. What are you going to do? Just keep getting more lost? You need to start studying. Become an expert in something. You need to start becoming disciplined in a practice of lifestyle management, of health, of productivity. And you need to start, what do they say, fake it till you make it. You need to start living a life of love and success before it happens. So you need to change your outlook on love. You're desperately lonely. You wish you were being loved. Love yourself. Love comes from within. No one will love you until you can love yourself. You need to overflow with love. And you don't have anyone loving you? Fine. Go around passing out some love. You got plenty of it. You're overflowing with it like a volcano. Start going and giving some of it out to people. Start living a life of success. What does success mean? You don't have to be a millionaire to be successful. You can start learning some habits of successful people and living those habits right now. But above all, when you're lost, when you're misaligned, you need to give in to God's plan for you. Let's find a good one to end with. I hope you guys are going to have a good weekend from what's left of it. Have a great Sunday. I suggest go listen to the conversation between Russell Brand and Jordan Peterson. They've had a couple, but the most recent one that was just a week or two ago, you can find it on Jordan Peterson's website. I love Jordan Peterson. Both of them have funny voices. Jordan Peterson sounds like Kermit the Frog to me, and Russell Brand just sounds like a drunk factory worker, Cockney Englishman. But they talked about replacing the center with God. So a lot of people have the center, their center, with themselves, with their self. They have the self as the center. And a lot of spiritual practices, Buddhism, Taoism, Jainism, Vedanta, any of that hippie crap, Kabbalah, I could list about 30 different, spiritual practices that really, they all put the self as the center. And interestingly enough, Russell Brand has become a Christian, and he mentioned in this conversation that all those various spiritual practices began to feel like false idolatry. And I can relate to that because I had a similar kind of experience. You want to make God the center, Christ as a symbol of the self, Christ at the center, God at the center. This is the sacrificial self. Food for thought.